Usually, the political temperature cools off in a state once election results are out and a new government is formed. But in Karnataka, the pot is boiling. More specifically, the rice pot. What started as a key poll promise by the Congress and possibly helped them win in the state has become fodder for the latest political standoff. Today, there were competing protests in the state of Karnataka. The ruling Congress held demonstrations in all districts against the BJP, accusing the centre of being anti-poor and nixing their promise of giving an additional 5 kilograms of rice to the poor from the 1st of July. Not to be outdone, the BJP also held protests accusing the Siddaramaiah-led Congress government of making false promises to provide rice. Now, in the midst of this protest versus protest emerges the question of why giving food grains to the needy has become the latest bone of contention. It's honestly all about who takes credit for welfare schemes. It's the central scheme under the Food Security Act versus the Anna Bhagya scheme of the state government. Now, the central scheme already provides 5 kilograms of rice to each member of families classified as below poverty line in a scheme formulated on the 1st of Jan this year. The Congress, before elections in the state, has promised to enhance this 5 kgs to 10 kgs. For this additional 5 kg per month, the state government needs 2.28 lakh metric tons of rice and a budget of over 10,000 crore rupees a year. The bone of contention is where the rice will come from. The Karnataka government claims it secured an assurance from the Food Corporation of India on the 12th of June to provide this rice at a cost of 34 rupees per kg. This is cheaper than the retail market rate of nearly 40 rupees per kg. The FCI, that's the Food Corporation of India, a day after allegedly agreeing to provide this rice, changed its policy. On the 13th of June came an announcement that FCI will no longer be selling rice and wheat under an open market scheme to state governments, with the exception of hill states and a few others. The Congress says this is a plot by the central government to sabotage their free rice scheme. The centre has denied this. So what now? Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah says he will reach out to other central agencies and states. So far, Chhattisgarh and Punjab have agreed to provide rice, but the problem is cost. Both are far away geographically from Karnataka, and transportation costs make the deal expensive. Telangana has refused to provide rice, and Andhra Pradesh has not responded yet. Interestingly, the top producers of rice in the country are West Bengal, UP, Punjab, Telangana, Odisha, Tamil Nadu and Chhattisgarh. But the primary source for states that want to distribute food grains are central agencies like the FCI. What we are seeing, though, the rice protests in Karnataka right now, is food politics at its peak with a race to claim credit. What about the needy in the middle of all of this?
To give 5 kg, they are given. They have done their duty. It is the duty of the Congress government to procure another 5. They want to cover their failure and blame the government, and they are making politics in issuing rice to the poor people. This is anti-people.
What does it mean? Why they have agreed? If there is no stock in FCI, they told me personally 7 lakh metric tons of rice is available with FCI. Instead of making allegations, false allegations like this, Vasuraj Bommai should have spoken to Government of India and see that rice is supplied.
मुझे चावल का डिमांड उत्तर प्रदेश से आई है, मध्य प्रदेश से आई है, तमिलनाडु से आई है, आंध्र प्रदेश से आई है, अलग अलग प्रदेश चावल बड़े पैमाने पे मांगते रहते हैं, लेकिन हमने सबको मना किया और एक कमेटी ऑफ सेक्रेटरीज ने 8 जून को फाइनली निर्णय ले लिया था कि ये जो चावल का स्टॉक है इसको रखा जाए, जिससे पूरे देश में 140 करोड़ लोगों की सेवा हो सके और बाकी जो प्रदेशों को चावल अगर कुछ खरीदने की आवश्यकता पड़ती है वो अवश्य मार्केट से खरीद सकते हैं।
We have spoken to various states, neighboring states, including Punjab, Chhattisgarh, and all other states. Whoever are ready to help to us, we are ready to buy from them on a transparency model. But still, I appeal to the central government: don't do politics on the poor man's stomach. It is not your rice; it is the farmer rice. They have grown, and you have been given an opportunity to collect. We are all
ready to pay for that.
We are working in a federal structure. We don't want any free rice from anyone. Karnataka government is capable of buying rice. It is a shame on you that it is your bound duty to just help us out.
All right, so it's food politics at its peak. The rice pot is boiling in Karnataka, but what really is the solution? Isn't it at the end of the day, think about it, politicking over feeding the poor? Isn't that really petty? Vijay Prasad, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, is with me on the show. We will be speaking with Vijay Sardana, senior agri-economist and policy expert. Bhagya, spokesperson of the Congress, is joining us today, and Dr. Deepa Sinha, economist, is with us on the show. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us this evening on Beyond the Headline. Let me begin with you, Mr. Vijay Prasad. Competing protest today. Can you tell me what exactly is the BJP protesting? What are you protesting? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. So, at the outset, it is the utter failure of the Congress government in Karnataka, and they have not rise up to the occasion. I mean to say RICE, rise up to the occasion of giving 10 kg rice to the people of Karnataka. Page 12 of Congress manifesto says per person per month to get 10 kg free rice under Anna Bhagya scheme. So first, let Congress stand by its word and give 5 plus 10 kg of rice to the people of Karnataka. There is no
but Mr.
barrier
Prasad,
for
why
the
are you
Siddaramaiah
protesting? This scheme is supposed to start from the 1st of July. This is an honest
Yes,
question.
see,
What
yes,
are you protesting
see.
today?
Why? Because Congress government is failing to keep up its promise. Along with that, the price rise, electricity price rise, and now they are incapable, and also they are unnecessarily blaming the central government because of the failure of their government. And here it is not the promise made by BJP government. It is the promise made by the Congress government in its own manifesto under page number 12. It says
But
that 10
Mr.
kg free
Prasad,
rice.
I'm asking you
What do
for the
mean by-
third time. If the promise has to be rolled out on the 1st of July, the Chief Minister is saying we will fulfill the promise. We will bring the rice from somewhere or the other. We are going to fulfill. What are you protesting on the 20th of June?
If that is the case, if that is the case, where was the need? Where was the need for the Congress to go and blame Modi government and the central government that they are doing rice politics? Where was the need for the Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar to come in the open public and start blaming the Modi government?
So
Where was
you
the
are
need for them?
protesting their
If they are-
protest. So
if
you
the-
are protesting their protest.
No, see, if it is just 1 month, you can understand how Congress is failing in its promises. Whether it can be now, it has become a condition sarkara. ATM sarkara, after ATM sarkara, now it has become condition sarkara, and now it has become blame sarkara.
All
Where
in
are we
1
heading
month.
to? Why Congress
All
is
in 1 month, a
hell-bent?
very active Sarkara if it's become these three things. Okay, Bhagya, if you can just respond to him. If you are going to fulfill your promise, what are you protesting? You are in power. Which government protests in its own state? You are in power. What are you protesting, ma'am?
We are very clear about our agenda of protest. We are protesting against the central government for denying to sell us the rice that was already permitted through their letter. On 9th, we requested for the rice for 2.76 metric tons of rice. And on 12th, the FCI had accepted to give us the rice. On 13th, Narendra Modi government, as usual, they played some petty politics and they wanted to reject and they said
let her finish and then I'll come to you. Mr. Prasad, let her finish and then I'll come to you. She listened to you. Let her finish and then I'll come to you.
Can I please?
It's only fair. Let her finish, I'll come to you.
Finish?
Yeah.
The problem here is the BJP party. The problem here is the BJP doesn't even know what they are protesting against. They are literally protesting against the well-being of Karnataka people, is what I would like to say. We trusted the federal system of this country because Food Corporation of India belongs to the whole country. It's not an asset of a BJP party. And when they accepted to give us rice, why would they reject? That's only because they want to see us fail in delivering our promises. But like I said, that's not the end of it. Our leader, our chief minister, the DCM, our whole government, we are very clear. No matter what, we will deliver. We will deliver what we have promised. We have reached out to
why are you protesting? You are in power. Why are you protesting? I'm not understanding. You are in power. Why are you protesting? Which state government protests? You are the one who's supposed to fix things. 1 minute. Everyone can't speak together. 1 minute.
We are protesting against, I'm telling you, we are protesting against this divisive politics of Narendra Modi government. We want to expose their, divisive politics, the way they're treating the people of Karnataka only because they didn't choose them. And as we all know, the president of BJP party, during campaign, he came here and he warned the people of Karnataka saying, if we do not elect BJP, we will not be getting any of the centre's programs. It's there all over the media.
Vijay Prasad, is this revenge? Vijay Prasad, is this revenge? They are claiming this is revenge. Okay, Vijay Prasad will speak now. Bhagyaji, Vijay Prasad will speak now. Yes.
Tamanna, this is the utter lies of the Congress. And I don't know, I think over a period of time, Congress has become a habitual liars. Whoever speaks, whoever is their spokesperson, they come on the show. They come on the show. They come on your show. They are become a habitual liar. And the fact of
what is the lie? 1 minute. That's an allegation. What is the lie? 1 minute. What is the lie?
Let's keep this discussion
what is the lie?
topic and let's not get personal.
Yeah. 1 minute. 1 minute. What is the lie? What are you claiming is the lie?
Please don't make it
1 minute, please.
Keep it to the
Bhavya ji, Vijay ji, can I please request you not to speak over each other? No, I do not do discussions like this. 1 minute, 1 minute.
No, Bhavya, this is not personal. This is not personal. I am trying to.
I'm not going to talk to either of y'all if y'all talk over each other. We're going to just mute everything. 1 minute. Bhavya ji, Vijay ji, first of all, let's not talk over each other. Please allow me to do the moderation. Everyone is getting a fair and equal chance on this show, uninterrupted. We should have the basic decorum to listen to each other in any kind of democratic discourse. Having said that, Vijay Prasad, you said they are lying. Can I ask you to elaborate on what specific allegation you are making? What is the lie?
8th of June, there was an inter-ministerial committee meeting which happened, which has decided to discontinue the OMS scheme, open market sales scheme. Okay, this has nothing to do, and whoever was there present in the meeting, they did not dream that Siddaramaiah is going to write a letter on 9th asking for the rights. They have not done it. So, 8th of June, they have taken a decision to discontinue the OMS scheme because the onset of the monsoon has not come in. It's been delayed. So, to mitigate the further requirements of the people, so they have discontinued this, except for the northeastern states. Along with that,
what is the lie? I asked you a very pointed question. What are you saying Ms. Bhavya is lying about?
Yeah, see, The Congress is totally.
Was she invited to
ignoring
your
the
intergroup
fact-
ministerial
ignorant.
committee? No, 1 minute. Was the opposition made aware, or the Congress made aware
Yes,
of what's happened
yes,
in this
yes,
group
yes.
of
I'll tell you,
meeting
this-
of ministers?
This interministerial meeting letter was shared with all the states and the Food Corporation of India, and it was shared and it was made available to them. So the
On
Congress,
what date?
why I'm saying it is a lie
On what
because-
date? No,
See,
on what date?
8th of June, the meeting happened. 8th of June,
Yeah.
the meeting happened. The decision was taken on 8th. It was
Okay, here you
after
go.
the approval. After the approval, it was.
When was this letter shared where this was informed, Mr. Vijay Prasad? Now you've come
Yeah.
down to facts. Now let's get it
Yeah,
clear.
yeah.
When
Okay.
was this sent? On the 13th of June?
Yes, on
That's
the
what
13th
we've
of
seen,
June.
right?
Yeah.
But
I'm
before
sticking
that,
to
on the 12th,
Okay.
another letter goes out. On the 12th, another letter goes out. On the 12th, another
Okay.
letter goes out saying, we will give you
Here
the
you go.
rice.
I'm showing the letter.
See, this is the action. See, this is the exchange of the letter. That has got nothing to do with the 8th of this one. So the 8th of June, what the decision has been taken, that stands. That stand out. That is the.
No, so
that is
you're
the-
saying between the 8th of June and the 12th of June, FCI and the
understand. They don't
states
have
were not
communication.
informed
Tamanna,
of a
the
big decision
problem
like
is-
this?
Tamanna,
And
the
in the
problem is-
interim, FCI, 1 minute, let's try and understand what's happening.
Okay.
The ambit of this show is to go beyond the headline. So let's understand what's happening. You're saying on the 8th of June, a decision was made, and possibly all of this is true. On the 8th of June, a decision is made to stop the scheme. You're saying this is before the Food Corporation of India tells the Karnataka government that I will give you the rice. But the decision of the 8th of June is conveyed only on the 13th of June. So what do? It's not our fault, it's not our problem. That's the basic premise, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, the counter to that would be, perhaps, that on 8th of June this was decided, but the Karnataka government has already made it public and clear that they will be giving this rice much earlier. So is it just a coincidence that this decision has been made a few days after they've come to power and their announcement? Mr. Vijay Prasad?
No. The last sentence, the voice was breaking. Can you please
Is it
repeat that
just a
question?
coincidence? Is it just a coincidence that this decision on the 8th of June to stop this open market scheme has come just
It is-
days after the
No,
state
no,
of
no. This is not-
Karnataka
this is not-
has said
this is-
we will give 5 kilos rice free?
No. See, this is not the knee-jerk reaction or the knee-jerk meeting. This is the regular meeting which used to happen. It's
Okay.
an ongoing meeting which the FCI or whoever is the responsible, they will conduct that meeting. So the fact of the matter remains is 8th of June, whatever the decision has been taken, it was conveyed to the states and the Food Corporation of India. Now,
But when? You're saying on the 13th. You're saying on the 13th.
Yes.
It's conveyed when? On the 13th. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
see, that
okay.
is
so is this,
acceptable.
okay, Bhavya ji, I want to, is this just bad timing? Is this just bad timing, bad luck, bad timing? Because we know that there is a slow monsoon, that is a fact. I know you're showing me the 12th of June letter.
Yes.
We have
Yeah, but they are
discussed
not
this
showing
now
the-
threadbare.
Just showing
We
you
have the
not
whole
13th
chronology
letter,
in
but
place.
The 12th June letter.
Sir, where is
Yeah.
the 8th of June, madam? Why can't you show the 8th
If
of
they
June?
decided on
Why
8th,
What will she
they
show for
did
8th of
not
June? If
communicate
that's
that to
if
the
that's a
FCI.
minister's meeting, how will she have anything on that? You're saying the 8th of June decision has come on the 13th. So what will anyone show of 8th of June?
Until 12th, the FCI didn't know about it to give us to accept our request. FCI has accepted our request to
Bhavya
sell
ji,
the
my
rice
question
at
to you,
34 rupees per
my
kilo
question to you,
plus 2
my
rupees
question to you is,
transportation.
okay, 1 minute. Bhavya ji, my question to you is that is it not possible that a decision on this scale, maybe 8th, 12th, FCI didn't know, they sent off the letter saying, okay, then it was conveyed that, okay, 13th, we stopped the scheme. Are you saying, or are you suggesting a central agency like the Food Corporation of India would decide to not supply food grains without auction? It's not like they'll never give food grains, but without auction to states just to spite the government in Karnataka? They will then make sure that other states also don't get
That's
food
exactly
grains.
what I'm
That
trying to say.
includes
If you can let me
BJP-run
speak.
states.
No. Again. If if the meeting happened on 8th, why was it not communicated to FCI? Because they accepted our request to give the rice on 12th on a paper. They've written that they will be selling rice at 34 rupees per kilo plus 2 rupees 60 paise for transportation. On 13th, they declined. 12th, they told us in writing, and that is the letter I was showing you.
Ma'am, we've been talking about
We have the letter.
We know
in
we've
which
been
they have
talking about
accepted
it.
to give us.
Please.
It's
We
not
know
the
we've
spite
been
of
talking.
FCI.
We've seen that
It is
letter.
government.
We've
Grow
seen
The
that letter.
BJP
We've seen
government
the
at the
sequence
center
of events.
who are playing
Now the
petty
question is
politics.
motive. Okay, I've got
Only
Vijay
because the people
Sardana
of
with me.
Karnataka
I'm speaking
rejected
now
them.
to the experts on this field. Vijay Sardana and Dr. Deepa Sinha is with me. Let's just get their perspective of how this actually works. So Vijay Sardana, is it typical for a decision like this to be made in the middle of the year? This was a decision, a scheme, which was stopped on June 13th. The notification came on June 13th, and a day before that, the Food Corporation writes to the Karnataka government saying, we will provide the rice. Isn't this coincidence kind of astonishing? What do you make of it?
First of all, good evening to all of you and the viewers. See, you have to understand that there is something called food security of India. And for food security application or requirements, Karnataka is, see, there is always a calculation in advance. Let me show you some of the papers which people have not seen it. There is already a current allocation under National Food Security Act for every state as per their requirement, based on their demand, based on the population, all those calculations. Karnataka got a 2.17 lakh tons of food grains. Now, this is the quantity which includes wheat plus rice, including any other option if they are looking at, like a core cereals or nutri cereals, whatever you call it. So these are calculations in advance. Number one, keep this factor in mind. Number two, agriculture is not an industry that you go and dig out the crop and then you start supplying. It depends upon the monsoon, weather, and many factors, which is beyond the control of any government. Third, FCI is only an inventory management company. It is not a government. FCI only do the stocking and release the consignment as per the requirement by the states, which is processed through central government, because central government has to see the overall national food security, not just one or two states. And you have seen before this decision, there was also a decision where Government of India put a stock limit even on private trade. What this indicates? This indicates that Government of India is assessing a scenario that we have food which is there in the country to ensure minimum food security.
Okay.
But we cannot go into either excessive exports or excessive processing, because the way weather is changing, the way monsoon is delayed, it may have some other implications. And we are talking about food security of 140 crore people. Now, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Now, when Karnataka is doing a free food ration as election manifesto, they are fully aware they do not have stock with Karnataka State Warehousing Corporation. Without knowing the facts, they make election promises, and when they are in trouble, they put the blame on the union government. So this is irresponsible politics, which is today
Vijay Sardana, how does this explain the Food Corporation of India on the 12th of June saying we will provide it? Was there no concern about monsoon then? Was there no concern about 140, crore people?
There is a difference. There is a difference. FCI is like a storekeeper. Government of India has to plan it out. Storekeeper will not tell, or they will not have a whole overall picture. They have looked into their inventory, but this is not the responsibility of FCI to plan food security. It is the Ministry of Food and Civil Supplies. Differentiate between the two. FCI is not a government, it is a corporation.
So what this is, at the very least, this is showing complete lack of communication between FCI and the central government. If 4 days earlier, the central government has decided that we cannot anymore continue with this scheme, the FCI does not know 4 days later. Okay, Dr. Deepa Sinha.
that should we
Dr.
make
Deepa
such
Sinha,
commitments? It is a failure on
Dr.
FCI
Deepa,
part.
no, so something is not working in this system. It's not
That's what I'm
like this
saying.
communication will
If
go through
FCI
pigeon. You know,
If FCI management
yeah.
is not
Okay,
consulting ministry and
so
issuing
Vijay
matter on
Sardana
their
is saying
own, it is their
FCI is
fault.
in the dock. They should have consulted and then done this. Dr. Deepa Sinha, do you agree with that assessment? Is this really the process that FCI is like the storekeeper and they have to consult the central government before deciding who to release stocks to? By who, I mean which state?
Points I would like to make. Firstly, in relation to what you were saying, open market sales scheme was something that was ongoing. The Karnataka government has not been asking for grains for free. They wanted to buy grains at the 34 rupees, which was the price and which is what FCI agreed. So there I don't see what the problem is on how it is beyond FCI's remit to say that they would sell it. This is something that normally FCI does to states which go beyond the National Food Security Act to give grains from their own budget. But FCI is the coordinating agency where the stocks of the central pool are, and that is where state governments buy it from, and this has been a normal thing. Second thing I want to say is giving this additional 5 kilos for free was something that even the current central government found necessary between 2020 to 2022, when in the response to COVID, across the country, 10 kgs were given to everybody under the NFSA. What Karnataka is doing was to extend this now under this new government for a longer period of time. So I don't see why it is an unwarranted thing to do. The third thing I want to raise is that if there is this anticipation that there is going to be some sort of a crisis because of the monsoon, then we also need greater transparency to see what is it that the government is expecting. Because if you look at the current stocks, we are well beyond the buffer stock norms. There is no need for any knee-jerk reaction. At the same time, we do have valid concerns of monsoon. Then what are we doing to ensure that the FCI and the government will have enough stocks as we go ahead? In that context, I would say that one would be to give a better MSP so that procurement is higher, which has not been done. The recent MSPs that have been announced barely make up for the increase in prices. In real terms, there is no increase. Some sort of a plan to diversify the basket of food grains as well, not just rice, but to include millets, which can be included in the PDS when we are talking so much about International Year of Millets. So there are many other things that we need to plan as well.
No, but okay, no, Dr. Deepa, just to understand, 1 minute, just to understand the role of Food Corporation of India. Is the Food Corporation of India an independent central agency, or does it work under the remit of the central government who can decide when to turn on and off the tap?
See, the FCI is an independent agency, but it is true that it does implement a number of government policies. The problem here is the short-term knee-jerk way in which this has been done, which is raising suspicions about the timing. That you have been continuing to do open market sales. For example, why is it that the sale of rice for ethanol is still continuing at a much lower price, right? That is also a policy decision. Then I'm questioning the policy decision of the interministerial group that they decided to not allow states to buy from the open market sales at this point of time. Is there enough basis? And the timing indeed is suspicious that it comes at a time when a particular state government has promised to expand its PDS. And this is something which is not new. BJP and not BJP governments have time and again expanded their PDS either by increasing the quantity or by including more people than that is
Which
given
is
under
the job?
NFSA.
Which
and
is
how
which
do they
is
do
the
that?
job?
They do this by buying from FCI in the open market sales scheme. So this
Which is
not
the job
something
of a
unique to
state
Karnataka.
government? Which is the job of a state government to assess who needs food grains. And yes, it's absolutely right that welfare schemes are a part and parcel of politics across party lines in the history of democracy of India. So this is not some new rabbit out of the hat. The question is the decision and the timing. Vijay Sardana, do you think the decision and the timing needs more answers? And the point that Dr. Deepa Sinha makes, that you want to sell rice at a cheaper rate to turn it into ethanol. So you can create a blended fuel to run vehicles at a cleaner kind of a system. But we don't want to give rice for a PDS system.
The point here is that the rice which is given for ethanol manufacturing, will people of Karnataka will eat that junk? You have to understand that what goes for ethanol production, it is which is unfit for human consumption. Do you want to have a rotten rice in your PDS? Because when you store the products in a warehousing, these are agricultural commodities, there are infestation, there are moisture problems, there is a fungal growth, these are biological commodities. They are not stones that they will lie without distortion. So we have to understand that if Karnataka is willing to have a rotten rice, which is going for ethanol production for human consumption, let them give in writing that we will buy the quality of rice which you are giving to ethanol. Let us see what the reaction comes. That is one aspect. Number two, FCI is not an independent body. Again, I'm saying it is a logistics and storekeeping of central government food security program. That is why central government extends subsidy when they buy it. Second option, which is important here to look at it, you can always increase the MSP as many as you want. You can even buy from international market. I have no problem. But when you offer it free, will the state government bear all the burdens of subsidy? They will not run back to the government that please reduce the cost of wheat or rice. Point here comes up is state government is bankrupt. Today, Karnataka's budget very clearly says 20% of budget, which is total excise collection of Karnataka state in the whole year, goes for only interest payment of the loan which they have already taken. Condition is horrible. It is looking at politics. What they are doing is they are doing a free subsidy or free rice or free this without knowing they don't have money in the pocket. Now they are looking for excuses where to bell the cat. So it is very easy that we cannot give you free rice.
Your response, Dr. Deepa Sinha. Are they looking for excuses? Are they looking for excuses? 1 minute. Are they looking for excuses?
The issue. This is diverting the issue. Now we are raising questions on welfare spending by state governments itself. That is not about Karnataka government. It's not about Congress, BJP. It's about every government. This kind of welfare politics where things are promised.
Let her respond. Let her respond, Mr. Sardana.
And I think that state governments, as any elected government, has the space to make their promises and keep them. If we want to go into the finances, we need a longer discussion. It's also about GST sharing. It's about why is it that the states don't have enough funds in these days, that they do not have enough revenue raising mechanisms. All the welfare is put on the states. There is a lot of issues on federalism that we can discuss about. But I think it is unfair to raise questions on whether state governments can even be allowed to make such welfare promises. Then we can ask those questions to the central government as well. As far as I am concerned, I would say both the center and the state are very much within their remit to make such promises. We have to recognize that there is large food insecurity in this country. Why is there a resonance to a promise of 5 kgs of free grain? It's because people are hungry. It's because people are not able to afford enough food. That is the situation. In such a situation, if governments respond, I think that's fine. We have to think about how more revenues can be raised and how these promises can be kept. But taking this to that larger question of no welfare can be done because states are bankrupt is incorrect. And we just heard the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka saying they can afford it. They have not been asking for this grain for free. They were willing to pay the money. This is a different issue.
Okay, so it's a serious issue, it's a very nuanced issue, and it's an important issue. We will give it more time, but I'm out of time right now. So I'm not able to come to you, Vijay Prasad and Bhavya as well. But we will return to this because at the end of the day, we have to understand whether this is a fight over FCI's letter or is it a fight for credit on who gets to say that I gave the poor rice, which, by the way, is their right. We'll take a very short break, but